I wonder what the deal is with that shit, huh? I might have two. It looks like I have two Skypes open on here. So I eliminated one instead of just right now, and I think I could get it. Whatever. It is what it is, dude. Good morning. Good afternoon to you.
I hate when people say it is what it is because, that's a conversation killer.
Yeah, that is, because, well, you're right. I didn't mean to say that,
Yeah.
but you know why? I'm not trying to, that's not.
No, I just point that out.
Trick.
I just point that out when people try and use semantics, and it's really weird. Semantics. There, I just did
it's
it.
like, and there's other things too, like, the thing is, and I think about that, I'm like, what is that thing you're talking about? I don't know. Yeah, the thing is.
Yeah. Well, the thing is a more sophisticated way where you move a conversation along. It's called getting to know. It's a different kind of trick that you use rhetorically.
Yeah, absolutely. And we
so when you interject that into a conversation, it's when you're like you're in the process of seizing control of a topic.
Right. Absolutely. No doubt, man. That's
because I use all those tricks too. I mean, I use every trick in the book that I can think of, that I can find.
Yeah, when you're the right person using it, like in the sense of just an intellectual, not besides yourself and our family and friends and people around that really take time and don't hovercraft through life. I've been thinking about people lately that hovercraft through life.
Oh, I want to interject something into the conversation. What's really interesting about me is I don't really use any of those things on anybody.
Right.
The shit that I know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes me like ideologically a sucker. You know what I mean? Because I won't do that. Like I only do it in emergencies.
Absolutely.
But you know what I mean? When I can just completely manipulate somebody's consciousness. I'll just do that like in a blink of an eye. But I won't do it to advance my own thing. I only do it to get away.
Yes, absolutely. It's a compassionate way. It's like compassionate criticism in a sense.
It's like kung fu. Perhaps. It's like martial arts, man. Being a master.
Remember what we were typing about the other day? Aikido of the mind.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm interested in is Aikido.
That's the best martial arts ever. Why do you want to fuck someone up when you can compassionately take their energy over you and it just makes sense. It totally makes sense.
Because I fell in love immediately. And the weird thing about that is like the building blocks, the Legos. Bruce Lee got killed for showing everybody his whole routine in a movie. Like it was a big joke. He's like,
who?
Bruce Lee.
Oh, okay.
When he showed everybody like his whole routine, but also the consciousness involved, he's like, no, you do all this stuff, and here's what I drink, these protein shakes, this is how much I work out a day, and this is the mindset that you want. When you put that in a movie, he was dead within a fucking couple weeks, because that slipped right past the man, because they were just waiting to watch this thing. This movie comes out, and here he is, he's making an army of these guys. See what I'm saying?
Oh, that's fucked. But
well, he knew. But Bruce Lee was way more fucking rad ever than John Lennon could ever dream of being.
Oh, big time, dude. Bruce.
But he just created an army of people that could do that were tuned into that. An army of them.
The inertia of handling. There's
he created me. He created me. See what I'm saying?
Hey, why not? It's this great synergy, and however you're going to use that energy, if you want to do it in music, or if you want to do martial arts, or send someone a rad thought when they're dreaming, it's all there. It's all there in our grasp.
Sure.
It's no taboo or hocus pocus. It's all focus and vision and
hocus pocus. Hocus pocus. Yeah.
So cheerio, man. Good day to you.
How's Jen doing?
Jen is in Santa Monica. She's doing really well. I'm up here taking care of music and financial endeavors.
Yeah.
And I talk to her all the time, and I'm lonely up here, and it sucks, but I come down to visit, and But basically, especially when it starts getting
I got a
cold
question
here.
for you. When you're lonely like that, does listening to In Excess as much as you do make you more lonely, or does it make you feel like a warm hug?
Well,
I'm
I'll start with this.
lonely.
You know what? I respect them and all that, but my kind of music, when I was lonely, before you came on radio, I was doing radio and I was playing Beck's Sea Change, a couple of Sea Change songs, and those ones hit the heart.
Well,
And you're
yeah,
like,
that's the
yeah.
best. He did the best fucking Nick Drake imitation ever.
Yeah.
Absolutely on that record. But that
Yeah,
sea
for
change, interjecting the sea changes means that he was like OT level 7 in Scientology right there.
sure.
Once he started using that word,
No doubt, right? That makes sense. Isn't that unfortunate? Like you get a hero, and then you learn about, and then you find these little intricacies. These what do you call it? Another word for it, but just these things about them, and you're like, what
wait,
the
what?
fuck, dude?
Matt, 1 second. KO, are you in Japan right now? I'm talking to somebody in the chat room.
Yeah,
I want to see if they're from Japan, if they're one of our Japanese listeners.
no doubt. Judging from what they're saying, some good stuff right there.
Yeah, but KO, are you in Japan right now? Because we have a couple Japanese listeners that tune in every now and then. No, England. Because I was going to show you my Japanese mafia tattoo.
Oh, nice.
I have an Yakuza tattoo. Should I show everybody that one? What is that?
Why not?
Okay.
Of course.
Let's see if somebody wants to see this one. Okay. Well, I'll show you my tattoo. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, really quick. You guys are gonna like this. It was a gift, but check this out. There's my Yakuza tattoo right there. You can look that up. Just type in Yakuza.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's a dope
just
one.
type that into Google Images and see what comes up.
Nice.
Yeah, I got that for a birthday present. It's crazy.
Oh, I think someone pronounced it right too on here.
Yeah.
Oscillate.
They were like cracking up. They're like, dude, man, you're like the only white dude on the planet that got one of these. You're so fucking cool. They're like, this is gonna trip people out for sure.
Nice.
I'm like, that's perfect reason to get it, right?
Oh, that's beautiful. That's special. That was a. You know what? It's one of those moments where you put it in your pocket, but not only do you have it in your pocket or your soul, but you have it on your skin, and that's dope.
Yeah, but it's also, you know what? I don't have to be in one of their cliques. See what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's not what it's about. They're like, you're
Yep.
fucking super bad, dude. We like you.
Yeah.
That's all they were saying.
That's what a nice journey.
I'm not involved with organized crime or anything.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But these are, regardless of what people are involved in throughout, we live all differently. You're going to find these folks that you resonate with. It all comes down to the heart and that good human condition, and that shit.
Well, you know what they call white people? They call them sick white pervert ghosts. They have like, but you know what they call me? They just you're just a person. They call me person.
Right.
Person.
Nice, good.
Yeah.
There we go.
Because I have personality. No, but I'm not like in a real mob like that. Like
Yeah.
I only took one oath. See.
Yeah.
Mine's to the U.S. government.
Yeah. Hello.
Well, I mean
Right.
the big one. Not like the factions.
Well, I'm winning right now because I'm living off unemployment.
I'm what you call an army of one.
Right.
But for my passport, my special passport, I had to take an oath again. And I'm not going to kick that away. You know what I mean? Else I would have already done it.
Well, I don't mean to take advantage of unemployment, but I am, and I'm having a good time off of it. It's a good time for retrospection and continuing my vision and music and doing these endeavors that pulled me away from Southern California. It's not bad, but it's lonely. But then I've had through these realizations, I want to go back to hovercrafters. And I like to call these people, some of these people that I meet in my life that I've known for a little bit.
You're so smooth. You're so smooth, Mr. Robinson. Here's to you, Mr. Robinson.
What's up, brother?
Mr. Robinson, Jesus has a special place for you. God bless
Yeah.
you, please, Mr. Robinson.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Lots of love to you too, man.
But what I'm going to say is you were so smooth that you just interjected right back to where you left it off to where I changed the subject. So go ahead with that.
That's what it's about, man. We bounce off ideas,
right?
And we know.
But it shows me that your synapses is in, even though you look like a fucking hippie, whatever, you know, and you're all into, you know, that it shows me that your synapses is working. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, it is. That's what
you just picked it right back up. It's like me, you know. I keep saying you know because you don't know, but my friends, I have some friends that I've had since kindergarten that I still talk to every now and then.
That's what it's about, you know.
No, but I mean, we're completely deviated from each other's lives, but they're just all these people. Everybody's just always been amazed because I'll just pick up a conversation we had in kindergarten, like it was just happening right now.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, but they're just like,
that's good.
Fuck, dude, how do you remember one day and exactly what we said on one day that was not even memorable? I'm like, you don't understand what a photographic memory is, man. I remember it all.
Well, so, here's an example.
I hung my shingle up on another shingle up on Facebook's wall today. I started the center.
Another group page?
Well, this one's the Center for Advanced Nationalist Covert Operations Training.
Uh-huh. Nice. What? That's like another group page, another you know, because there was a. What did you start? It was there's several group pages.
Yeah, there's lots of them. There's lots of them. Right. But this one's specific. This one's a Center for Advanced Nationalist Covert Operations Training.
Nice. Give me a bullet point or whatever. You could talk however long you want to, but like, tell me about it, please. Tell us.
We help like Hmong Hill people, the children of Hmong Hill people, CIA covert fighters, children in Orange County do rap songs so they can enlist their buddies and go right back in there and stop the Chinese from fucking controlling the Mekong Delta.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, put their videos on YouTube. Pump that shit.
Hello.
Yeah, connect people together. And we do the same for the Syrians and for Egyptians and whoever we need, whenever we need. We put them right back in the mix.
Just like fresh white socks and British Knights.
Dude, all my bitches come from Cambodia. You don't know shit about Lao.
Yeah. No. What I was talking about was like, that had nothing to do with them. I was just thinking about, I don't know. I just went back in time in the late 80s when I was living in SoCal, and British Knights shoes and I don't know, dude.
BK Knights 2000 G. Boy.
You remember BK Knights?
Yeah. But I mean, we're gonna help Tongans and everybody. Like wherever there's a problem, man, there'll be a Fiji hip hop band with a message on YouTube connecting these people together.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, Nepalese, wherever the problem is, man. I'm gonna subcontract out to XE Solutions International. I'm gonna help them build their army by making hip hop videos for these kids, like Iranian kids and shit. Connect all the kids where they're interested in this nationalism thing. Connect them through the hip hop, and then put them on a plane and interject them into the mix in these proxy wars.
It makes sense, and it all goes down to what the music's a very.
Hey, baby, that's why you get the big bucks.
But that vision, that is a fucking decent idea and a manifestation that can happen in regards to music.
You're saying it's cool, man. I'm building armies.
No. But like no,
for money.
No, in the sense of like what I think is interesting about it is the way to connect with people is through music, and so that's what's interesting about it, you know, because it's true, you know. Yeah,
of course. Well,
so that's it.
That's why they call me a genius.
Yeah, well, I have all these epiphanies, all these different ones, and you're talking to me, and I get confused of my own epiphanies. They're just interjecting.
Well, you know what? Like going backwards, when I just said it was the Center for Advanced Nationalist Covert Operations Training, that confusion would be part of the covert.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt.
So,
Word up.
you know what I mean? The coolest thing about a lot of my companies and things is that, I can tell everybody exactly what's going on or what I'm doing, and nobody's going to believe it anyway. So I get to do what I want that way.
Well, is it creativity only end is the best thing, because some people don't even create. I guess they create by crapping or peeing, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like some
production is
people.
up, right? In the shit factory. Production is through the roof.
Oh man, that was a good one. Good job.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Are we going to talk about current events, or what are we going to do? Or do we have to wait till somebody's
Well,
interested
I
in that
wanted
shit?
to
Geopolitics.
just really quick,
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Hovercraft people. Yeah.
Exactly.
Hovercraft.
We're going back to that because I have to finish that in my lonely and busy world up here in San Francisco. And anyways, what I've been learning is that a lot of people have a lot to share that I've been hanging out with, and they're intellectuals and they're grounded, and I don't waste my time hanging out with whatever. I'll give someone the benefit of the doubt, or a word up, or a dollar in their pocket. But what I mean is, I'm witnessing several people that they're sharing a lot of things about themselves. But when I'm just trying to share a song, they're not even listening. But that's a slight aspect into hovercrafting.
Yeah.
And so what I mean is like, okay, well, you share. And
I call it the Hollywood minute that people give you.
Nice.
They're
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Yeah.
Well, let's hang out soon.
Oh,
That's like the
God.
Hollywood minute. But
Yeah, exactly.
but then when you get to the East Coast, it's called the New York second. Like, hey, well, let's hang out soon. Let's talk about that. Okay, gotta go. But in LA, it's a little bit more laid back. It's called the Hollywood minute. In New York, it's called the New York second.
That's it. So
when I was a little kid, I used to just speed up. I still do it, but not as bad. But I used to speed up. There's a whole connection to the linguistic thing when you're a super genius. It's like a lot of the connections and things happen when you're actually formulating a sentence. So when I'm doing a lot of my brain work, these calls are really useful because I can articulate it, and then I'm like, oh, that's what it is. And you would never think in a million years unless you write it down and you bring the word forth into being. So when I was a little kid, I used to just speed up every time anybody I could tell. I would immediately know when they disconnected, they weren't paying attention. And I would just speed up what I was saying to complete my thought, whether they're listening or not.
Right.
And I would just end up talking faster and faster because I knew that nobody understood what I was, except for the people that were testing me for my genius. Nobody had a clue of what I was talking about because I was right on the money. See what I'm saying? But intellectually, I passed like everybody in my family probably when I was 6 years old, and they're smart cookies.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Their only response to anything was like, "You think you know everything? Where'd you hear that? Where'd you learn that from? Where'd you steal that from?" Like whatever. And I'd be like, "Dude, it's called a book. You should read it sometime." But I had this idea.
Yeah, it's like a book, and it's in the air too.
Well, yeah, that's like the whole library of consciousness that exists that you can tap into.
Right, absolutely. That's greatly said.
Well, that's the genius of Legos. If you throw, you're like, oh, you could be the moon buggy or the pirate ship box, but if you throw away the little directions and you just got this moon pirate buggy ship,
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I love that. That's what it's about, man. So some people are hovercrafted and some are grounded, and that's the point of the story.
Well, the Sufis have this thing where one hand's pointing to the ground and one's reaching for God as they twirl.
Yeah.
Like your feet are on the ground and your head's in the clouds.
Uh-huh.
Simultaneously.
Oh, wow.
But I had some really crazy shit that I was trying to break down to everybody else earlier, right when I got up earlier today. I was trying to explain something, and I just said, oh, according to prophecy, this is what's going on. But I wish we could get into it. I just don't know anybody that knows anything about it besides me, and I don't know if I should be telling everybody.
Well, you'll know when it's time.
Well, simultaneously there's all these things happening. There's the economic thing,
Right.
then there's the military
Yes.
aspect, right?
Right.
Then there's the spiritual aspect.
Yes.
Now, it's no secret, like these proxy wars now are all the way back to all these locations in the world where these Shia, but not Shia, inside of those guys, there's these guys called the Twelvers and the Ismailis. And if you go all the way back to this guy Hassan al-Shabaab, he's the Hashishans and the assassins. They're involved with that too, in Iran and where that guy was from, in Alamut. And then you got the Crusaders. They're sent by the Pope to Jerusalem. And their job, what Urban wanted those guys to do, the Templars, was, are you there?
I'm here, brother.
Was to keep the road clear for pilgrims to be able to go to the Holy Land. So when the next wave of guys came, and they went to go check these guys out, and they captured the Temple Mount and all that shit, set up camp, they were like, what the fuck? There's all these like Arab guys or whatever all around you. What do you didn't fucking do what you're supposed to do? He's like, nuh-uh. What we're supposed to do is make the road safe. Did you get here safe? And they're like, yes. Then fuck you. And they're like, you guys are traitors.
Wow.
Because those guys, what happened was those guys came up on these other guys, these mystery sects, and their leader is just like, oh yeah, well check this out. And a dude just jumps off the wall to his death, and he's like, now check this out. Another one right off the wall. He's like, now check this out. Another one right off the wall.
What?
Dead. He's just making his own guys jump right off this cliff right in front of these guys. Just going, now check this out. Now he's like, then you get into the secret level of this shit where these guys, these Ismailis, they're related to the Aga Khan, who's this rich guy who socialized his kid, just killed himself in New York last year. But these guys are related. Well, who they're related to is Muhammad.
Mm-hmm.
It's a secret sect, bloodline. And the Aga Khan guy, the real one, there's millions of these people. There's like 3, and they're all in government. And they got these foundations for computers. Every one of them gives 10% of what they make to the Aga Khan. And all his bank accounts got confiscated, but he still has more money. So there's more than one of these guys. But so then this subsect, they worship the old man or the baby as a spirit, right? So there'll be a chair, man, and you go into a room and everybody will swear that the dude is sitting in the chair.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it'll be an old man, sometimes it'll be a baby, and sometimes it's not even there.
Ah, interesting.
The chair is empty. So anyways, everywhere where these guys are, these brotherhoods are hanging out is exactly where we're fighting now. The Templars, the Masonic thing, these brotherhoods, this knowledge, these gangs, right? They took that info and it went all the way around the world. China, Russia, everybody, right? Has these the left-right double-headed eagle, right? Mm-hmm. Everywhere, right? Went all the way around the world, leaving these guys, right? Their own plan, their own method, and has circled right back around to their den.
Interesting. That's it. Wow.
The snake is eating its tail right now.
Now listen to describe it.
Now these guys, when you're in Lebanon, in Bekaa Valley, and in Syria, and Iran, and these places, right, where this shit goes down, right, and in Afghanistan, and Waziristan, and all these places, they'll have these meetings right on the top of a mountain and out in the open. There's no way you can infiltrate it, right? Because it's like right out in the open. They'll do it right in front of you. And then there's just a chair. There's a chair or even 2 chairs or 3 chairs. And they'll go, which one has the old man? And you'll go like,
wow.
You'll go, he's sitting right there in the middle. And they're like, wrong, it's a baby. This time. Yeah. They'll be like, it's a baby this time. You're wrong. That's why you got to die, or we'll let you go.
What?
Because you can't get in. You can't trick your way in.
Yeah, absolutely,
See,
exactly.
because
Yeah,
it can
it's
be a baby,
insight,
it can be a baby, it could be the spirit, or it could be the old man.
but it's the inner
But now,
visions
now
that
here's where
you.
it gets heavy. Here's where it gets heavy. It can be a little girl too.
Mm,
Totally, no, and no women are allowed, but she's the
mm,
boss.
mm.
Trippy, huh? So nobody understands this shit. You know what I mean? Nobody understands it, so then it doesn't even matter at a certain point. See, because then like the plan keeps changing. Like
Absolutely.
they just figure like, okay, well, then we could just wipe them out genetically, maybe if we find out
Well,
who all
we.
the people are. If we find out like the right group of people, then maybe we could just fucking germ them out of existence. But
It's like
here's the weird thing though about the snake eating its tail is double metaphor.
right.
They're inside the government, and then, like when it comes now that here's where the Hassan el Shabah comes in. It's because then this dude's whoever it is, right? It's not the Aga Khan that Ben worked for or friends with that guy. It could be anybody, right? And they just go like this, and then those people just jump, kind of like when your understanding of like Al Qaeda thing, it would
Yeah.
be, boy, that would be a model for it, kind of
Right.
another one,
Yeah. Absolutely.
but
Yeah.
not
Another one.
absolutely. So this is even crazier. This is like people that are like, see, because in this, if you read about this Hassan al Shabah guy, these books, you know, the stuff that I read is not some crazy website, right? It's not. I never I didn't study this stuff about it to understand how this works and how to identify these type of people. You know, I use like Cambridge Press shit from Oxford. It's like people that go to school to work in the business. They
Right.
take special courses. Like, see, in all these situations, you don't go off and try and find these people to join. They find you. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
They
Absolutely.
notice you're looking everywhere. But
Mm-hmm.
in these other places in the world, you know that these people are just born into the shit, and then they find them within that context because they know them from the village or whatever, from their tribe or whatever, their clan. They know who to pick. And so, anyways, these people are off like studying and security clearances in these governments all over the place, and they just leave them there, and then like all they gotta do is that, and that person will do whatever.
Wow.
They'll
That's
be
some
like
power.
absolutely loyal, 100% to
Uh
the
huh.
end. Bust whoever they got to bust, their own brother. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And then just at the snap of a finger, they'll switch sides. And so that's the physical background information and description. And then on top of that, ready? There's the ghost in the machine. They got to find that thing. That's what I was saying last year. They got to find that wherever it is. They got to find the ghost in the machine. Else their whole plan, the whole big plan, is going to fail. Because right
Mm.
when everything's connected, then it's also connected. The ghost in the
Right.
machine.
Mm.
So you can't connect everything together because it's in
Right.
something. So they got to find that shit.
Love that. That not that I love that. I love the idea, the realization of that. That's what I mean. You know.
Well, I was saying it last year. It's not like I know. I can't put my finger on it, right? I just
Yeah.
know it exists because I could see it. Weird shit, huh?
Yeah, it gets really intricate, and
It
then you
fucking
just
hurts my head, man. I'll tell you, man. I ended up in the hospital. They just told me
well,
to shut up and not worry about it.
well. Luckily, as such a soul shiner as you are, you have your music to go back to, and that's a mantra in itself. And luckily, people like us to be creative. I mean, shit's gonna get down and out sometime, or things are gonna change. But
They are.
we always know the mantra to come back to, and whatever that is
Well, you
for
know,
us, we'll know.
I put it in the music to remind me.
Yeah.
And the music's everywhere. See, I made my own reprogramming tapes. Then all I have to do is put them on. And that's why the record's called We Are the Radio.
Absolutely.
Always puts me right back to square one. And it cannot be defeated, cannot be stopped.
Yep.
So I was smart. See, I put it in there. I was like, this is just going to remind me exactly what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I put it everywhere. And I made it on analog. So they can wipe it right from the digital map and it will bounce right back.
Hey, I was DJing earlier tonight at Club 6 on 6th and Market. We throw an art party from 7 to 11. What I mean by art party, because that sounds kind of broad, but what I'm saying is that people can go in there and paint. We have supplies, and we have all the like wood panels up, and they can just paint. And so basically tonight, I got to blast a lot of your stuff.
Haha.
A couple things. I mean, specifically... Electric Talking Cave.
Yeah.
So I did that one.
Yeah.
I did that one big time. And then the 12-inch of Serious Matters. And on the other side, you got that like electro beat one.
Yeah.
That's like, it's hard. It's a heavy knocker. It lasts a long time. It was good to hear that out of a loud sound system, dude. That's a big time fact for sure.
Well, hey, while you're sitting here, can I just play a song and then we'll get right back to the next phase 2 of the conversation?
Yeah, let's do it. And this time I'm going to figure out, we'll do a visual. So we'll
call back.
Not that this is bad. This is great.
Call back. I'll play a song and you can call back and then we'll come back and do part 2 of this conversation. Ready?
All right, brother. Talk in a bit.
Cool. Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
The phones. Are you going to call back?
Okay.
Do I need to play another song? Okay, we'll play another one. Let's see. Since Matt's not calling back. Do I even have it on this computer? Oh, here he is. Never mind that. Mr. Robinson.
All right, how's it working now?
I'm waiting on that video. It's working perfect.
There we go, man.
Here we go.
So what I did was I'm just going to eliminate, I had too many things open, so I'm just going to eliminate all those, and I'm just watching Skype right now. That's about it.
Oh, yeah.
So
Here we got to do. Here I got to go. My picture is screencast. Let's see. Oh, there you are. You got the electric pink poncho in.
Man, it's so warm. Not that it's thick, but I have a sweater and all this other shit underneath, but whatever. It is what it is. Back to it is what it is.
Yeah, the conversation club, right? I left my hoodie downstairs.
It's hoodie time, dude. It's hoodie time. It's crazy.
Dead TV jacket time for Anton.
You're lucky you don't have long hair like me, because when you keep wearing a hoodie in this cold weather, it gives you dreadlocks they don't want. And I'm not a dreadlock kind of guy. And that's dreadlocks aren't good for me, but they look good on other folks.
Panic in Babylon. Right on.
Yeah. So that's about it. I just wish I could
say hi,
have
Fab,
this-
to all the people in TV land. Say no. My imaginary friend Fab.
Oh, yeah.
He speaks French. He's part of my communications team.
Hello?
We're stopping the revolution in France right now that happened last year.
Speaking of that, I did play Gil Scott-Heron's song, when this revolution cannot be televised. I played that loud tonight as well. Very loud. Mega sound system. When you're working with a sound system, you got to make sure you play the proper beats for those ears, you know?
Sure, man. I fuck shit up. Evidently, in January, I'm going to go to France and fuck
Really?
some shit up. They won't let me play some weird stuff, but I'll play some other stuff.
Is what's the word on the? I mean, I guess it was confirmed a little bit ago, but the Psych Fest for April is that cracking? Is that confirmed or whatnot?
In theory, I don't know.
In theory.
We told those people in Texas that basically, Alex Moss said we really want you guys to play, but you guys are fucking expensive. And I said, well, that's just the way it is. I'm an old man.
Right.
It's weird, especially with those guys, you know, if those guys put on a show, you know, and they have to like go through normal channels to get us to do something like that, then just the process, they're going to like copy what we do. So they're going to start, you know, it's like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. They're going to go, well, fuck it. You guys get that much to get paid. We're worth that much because we're on fucking national television. They won't even let you on national TV.
Right, yeah.
They won't let me on national TV because they know.
Well, you guys are the best subculture brothers.
But I know, but you know what? If you think fucking Lady Gaga can build a bunch of monsters like that, I could lay her to waste in a second. Because she's a fucking amateur, man. The problem with that kind of mind control little fucking monarch program, mind control program is, you know, it only that shit only works on weak minds. I get the strong ones. So they get,
no doubt.
So every one that I get is worth 1,000 of those fucking little monkeys.
It's funny, man. It's true.
So
it's
great. Basically, you know, all they're gonna do is walk right into the furnace and burn up.
Oh, hey, you know what my favorite one was? That last time I talked to you, it was like, you're all talking about someone disrespecting your job or what you do. It was when I was in Santa Monica, and it was like, I'll slap the fire out of you. I love that one.
Yeah,
that was
slap the fire out of you. Lady Gaga, I'm gonna slap the fire out of you.
I love that. That's a good one. That's yeah. Word. So yeah. Okay, I think I had another point to bring up for our part 2 thing here. I don't know, perhaps.
Okay, you want to? Should we go to current events?
I'm kind of good with them, but let's do it.
Okay, so at 5 a.m. in my time, they were hashing out this plan for the EU, and Britain vetoed the plan, and Sweden and Romania and somebody else, the Czech Republic, all abstained. So everybody else said Germany can control it, dictate the terms of us bailing you guys out. Now Britain's deal killer was that the city of London could not be regulated because this is crazy shit with the banks and leveraging. That is the big problem. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to explain something to you. You can't be a troll on the internet without talking some shit, and then that exposes who you are. See?
Right.
Otherwise, you're just watching the YouTube or whatever. See, until you actually do it when you're writing,
right. Yes.
You're not actually technically a troll yet.
Mm.
You're just a watcher. Mm. So what anybody with the brain knows now, I'm just going to explain something to you without a value judgment. No value judgments. Ready?
I'm ready.
So if you think like Goldman Sachs is pulling the strings for this economic warfare where they're getting control, right? With all this shit, right? They control the Fed. They control everything. U.S. government, right? Now check this out. That corporation that controls all those pension funds, that controls all those other corporations, right? Because those investment things, through the investment, right? And the derivatives, right? Are you ready for this?
I am.
Well, the city of London has corporations that invest in corporations.
Oh, shit.
So it doesn't matter if they're the ones on Wall Street. While you're worried about Goldman Sachs. Right. There's people that own Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's how it always... The monopoly, the big one.
But you know what? They can't say that in the news.
Right.
They can't say that in the news in Germany because then it would be like fucking nationalism, crazy shit. So basically they have to just go along with a certain degree of this stuff. But, man, So then the whole Great Scandinavian War thing, that's all, see, it's just exposed by people's actions. So just like I said before, I knew what was going on last year. And I was trying to explain to some people. I'm absolutely right. And I don't care if I die. But I'm just like, wow. Sweden just decided to show their hand.
It's going to be a long time till folks actually. When is it? That
See,
cycle. It's a cycle of theory.
No. See, you've got it all wrong.
What's that?
What's anybody going to do with that information? What are you sitting here entertaining thoughts of treason?
Oh no, but what I mean is we like, and you know as well. When it's an amazing, there's a cycle of fury, and the only way to break it is to just step aside and be an observer of it, and be compassionate and do all that, right? But it's never gonna. This shit's just gonna keep going on and on for eons. All these intricate problems throughout the world through religion and all that, whatever.
The theory of one, though.
You know,
the theory of one, the thingy wingy.
Yeah.
No.
It's unfortunate.
Okay.
You know?
See? You just showed your hand by the words that you chose to use to describe it. You know what's unfortunate? Why don't you qualify that statement? And then I'll tell you what I think.
Okay. What's unfortunate is that okay, here's a good one. What it's inspiring me to do by saying unfortunate is that I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, well, what's unfortunate is that I'm not stepping up more to make a change and make a difference. But I am in some ways doing things right now. But I know my potential.
Well.
Kind of. That was kind of a good, you know.
Nice save. You know what's unfortunate is the hubris. Like a lot of times when you watch this shit, the process, it's like awkward to watch things just fucking tumble. It's like watching a video of somebody falling down the stairs. You're like, ouch, every single fucking bump. And you're like, dude, couldn't they have just like walked down the stairs or taken an elevator or slid down a pole or something smooth?
Right. Nice.
That's what's unfortunate.
I got it.
It's just like fucking awkward to watch this shit.
That's true. Wow. I don't mean to laugh at it,
that's where my companies come in handy sometimes, because I could just point that out like in a sentence. See, a lot of these think tanks, and if you're privy to the policy papers and stuff, a lot of this stuff, so fucking awkward. Even when it's like the smoothest plan, a lot of times, like if you look at like some of the like policy papers, policy directives, and talking points and stuff, a lot of times it's just so fucking awkward to watch, you know, and see these think tanks and stuff. It's like they're selling a plan. It's like consulting, right? So and it kind of needs to be a process of refinement sometimes, but a lot of times, like, you don't want to confuse an argument that people are having. Like, then you're just spending more time talking about shit. A lot of the shit is just so fucking awkward to watch. I'm just like, ugh, painful to watch people do this shit. But then some of it, you know, like, as I get older, I have a greater appreciation for certain aspects of it. See, you'd never get hired for a job just going, well, check it out. Here's my diagram and here's my flow chart of the thingy-wingy. Right? They don't need some guy to come in and go like, wow.
Right.
You know, like, we're not going to say David Icke. But just some guy's like, wow, that guy really figured it all out. Let's hire him now. That's not the way it works.
Yeah, it doesn't, dude. It's not going to do that. Yeah. That's so
great. That's a problem that's a problem with listening to like these conspiracy sites guys or whatever.
Well, Anton, like a couple of years ago, like 3 years ago, when I lived in Upper Haight, I spent 3 weeks investigating
doing acid by the look of your poncho.
I spent 3 weeks envisioning where the poncho was going to be. Yeah. No, but I was there like for real. Like any day I had off, I was in the room investigating propaganda about whatever, you name it. Illuminati, the red planet, and all that shit, and the polar shift. And the whole time, it was interesting. But what I realized was like,
Do you want you want to hear a secret?
What's up?
One of those there's more than one polar shift. The magnet.
In the past,
Hold on.
Been,
the magnetosphere. The
magnetosphere.
Yeah.
What? Explain that to me, because I
the
don't recall.
the magnetic, positive magnetic thing that goes through the center of the Earth.
Okay.
It radiates out the top, and cycles around, and there's a positive and a negative side to it, and it partially shields the planet, interacts with things and stuff.
So that's one of them, right?
That's a big one.
That's a big one. That's one of them.
Yeah, it has to do, that including the Earth's magnetism.
Right.
Do you want to hear something trippy?
Of course.
I could swear I felt that shit flipping last year. I could feel it.
It's slow. It's a slow one.
No,
it's not,
no. It does. There's some really weird shit that happens. But right. I could swear I was laying on the bed like I was glued to the bed. It was really, really, really freaky.
Yeah.
But I could feel us moving.
Yeah.
Really, really weird ways.
There's some skeptic in an interview, like on what's that Coast to Coast thing I was listening to, and it was a recording. And this one guy, it was last November I was listening to it, actually, not too long ago. And that's when I was really heavily deep involved in the idea. I was like, whoa, I feel like this shit's going on. So I started looking it up. But he was saying that, for instance, like if a polar shift really happened, that shit, like the California coast would rise up in like minutes and like shit like that. But that's what he said. And he tried to like calculate and be a Nostradamus of the date. But I'll tell you what, we've passed that date. But I think it's more like an energy change rather than a more physical look on our Earth. Well, it's happening with like volcanoes and all that shit here and there, but subtly. But I think it's more internally. I think it's more like we're noticing changes with our energy and shit, and people, and some people, all the folks watching here can, and but it's like you feel it. It's more of an internal thing that you see. It's like when a dog or a cat knows when an earthquake's gonna happen.
Sure. Sure.
It's like that kind of instinct, and it's not taboo. That's the real shit,
Right arm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I handled the money thing. That issue. Yeah. Let's check out the world while we're talking. It's kicking off in Gaza, but we knew that was going to happen probably. There goes my drive spinning. Oh.
Yeah. That's going to happen. Yeah, it's bound to happen.
Listen to it go.
It sounds like great white noise, but it's not a good white noise sound you want to hear.
I don't believe in good and bad.
Yeah, should we go back to one of those? It is what it is. You know what I like about is the best way I like to use is isness. I like thinking about isness rather than what it is.
You know what I'm going to do for them too?
Since
they're watching, I'm going to go ahead and hook up my hard drive too, just to make sure they get it all, whatever they're looking for. They'll probably like that. Right in the middle of their scrubbing my OneDrive, I'm hooking up this one.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm just a nice guy. Let's see if they burn this one out though.
Absolutely.
So while they're searching my one, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, it's going. Oh my God.
Nice.
This one is just blazing now too.
Oh, good. What? In a good way?
No, it's vibrating like it's never vibrated before.
Oh, no way. Simultaneously,
Yeah.
both hard drive.
Yeah, this one's a
Yeah.
little. It is
Gosh.
just going. Wait, I wish I knew where the microphone was. Wait. Shh. So classic. Anyways, I mean, I guess I could hook up some of my other Macs too. Put them all in a big chain.
You know how to do it. If you know how to do it, then there you go, man. You know, you don't want to travel along in a van in the desert without knowing how to fix the fucking radiator and all that shit.
Okay,
You know,
Matt.
What up?
You're walking through the desert.
Uh-huh.
You look down and you see a tortoise on the ground. And it's flipped on its back. And you're looking at it. And you know that tortoise is going to die if it doesn't get back on its feet. And you're looking at the tortoise. But you're not helping it. Why aren't you helping it, Matt?
Well, I have two things to say about this. You know I would help it, and I know that's from Blade Runner. Fact.
So why aren't you helping it?
Because I passed out and I'm dehydrated and I didn't have the strength to help it. That's the only reason why I wouldn't help a tortoise in that predicament.
Why am I not helping it?
Because you weren't there. It's just me. I'm there with the tortoise.
You know, why didn't I help it?
But in your circumstance, being there by yourself with the tortoise, okay. I don't know. You tell me. I'm curious. We're curious.
Because a tortoise has been around for millions of years. Millions. And they can flip themselves over. They would all be dead if they couldn't. So I know that.
That's a goodies. Hey, was that on Blade Runner, though?
They didn't give the answer. They didn't give the answer. I knew the answer.
But they asked it, but there was no answer on Blade Runner, right?
Because people are like, "What do you mean I'm not? What do you mean I'm not helping it?"
Right, the replicants.
They got into the semantics of it, of the test. But see, I already knew the answer.
That's a brilliant one. I love that.
So I gave the right answer.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
That's why I get the big bucks.
You know what they are? They're called salt bucks. They're called light in your heart.
So what are you guys going to do after they kill me?
Well, impermanence is always going to happen to any of us. We know that. We can't really predict when it's going to happen for each and every one of us. But the fact is that there's always a legacy to push on for, and that's the most simplistic, thing I can think about right now. My simplistic response or whatever what I would like to do, and so that's what we do anyway. It's so easy. Why not continue it but snowball it as well?
Yeah, like extra credit. Nice,
extra credit for sure. Just not only did you do that, but now you're gonna. It's just gonna expand. It's gonna get gargantuan, and it takes one. I was thinking about this thing tonight, man. I was, what was it? It takes one to know one. That was my second thing. But the first part of the quote was, it takes two to make a thing go right, but it takes one to know one. That's what I was thinking about earlier. Like, that was 2 hours ago, dude. That wasn't that long ago. You know? Hey, I got another good topic, if you don't mind, unless you let me know when you're done with the news. I have something to share with you. It'll be fun to talk about.
Sure.
But I don't want to interrupt you, just in case if you're going through the updates of the world today.
Well, it's 41 minutes ago, French press is reporting that there's a massive rally as the Syrian forces like basically that there's that city Homs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a real hotbed of this civil war thing, as they like to call it in the United Nations. The Syria, the government said no to the suggestion that it looked to me like was coming from Russia. I talked a little bit about this. There's this guy who won the Nobel Peace Prize. I forget his name. And he's been sort of like a commie-leaning guy. Maybe he is a commie. But he's Norwegian. And he's got a Center for Peace Studies or whatever, right? And he suggested that there'd be 1,000 observers on the ground in Syria immediately. And the Arab League suggested something, observers. France suggested no-fly zone with security corridor, which means arming. The Syrians stopped all the Turkish trucks coming from the opposite direction because they're hip to that we don't want to implicate Turkey any more than we could, but we do know that like hundreds and hundreds of these Libyan guys with the guns that just got finished there, and the Qatari guys went into Syria, and all kinds of people are coming from Lebanon and all that stuff. Turkey's got some people, and then there's ex-specialists. There's everybody's over there right now. It's the road to Damascus. Anyway, so Syria stopped all the trucks. They beat up some guys. This about a week back at the border. These Turkish busloads of people coming back from, they said, Iraq or wherever the fuck they were, Egypt or I forget what country they were in. So then they stopped those guys and beat them up. Shot up the inside of the bus. Shot. The border guards just kicked off. And so Syria banned all the trucks at the border of Turkey to cut across. And then the Arab League said, dude, we want observers on the ground now. So the Russian guy, the Norwegian guy, who I looked him up because it's the first I'd heard of him. You know, I looked up his institute and all that shit. You know, like sometimes like on RT News, you know, like if I'm watching Russian news and there's somebody talking, right? Yeah. Instead of me going, oh yeah, this guy's got an interesting perspective, right? The first thing I do is, if I read an article in the New York Times or the Jerusalem Post or anywhere in the world, and it says something, there's some keyword in it, the first thing I do is I look up the journalist and their history, everything about them.
Okay.
And I look at what like institute, what think tank they are, what their history is, what they say they are. I get the background on that person because I want to know what's really I want to know what's really going on. Right?
Beautiful.
Yeah. So anyway, so this guy, you know, I looked him up and he basically is full-on commie guy. Even though his thing's just called the Internet for like Peaceful Solutions or something. You could find him easy on the interwebs because he was a Nobel Prize winner. But anyways, he said that 1,000 dudes should be there right now. I mean, that would be covering every base, every city, every area as observers. So that didn't look like it happened. Syria said no way to the observers, whether it was the UN demanding the Arab League or this guy's plan. Assad went on TV and said, look, man, I'm not in control of the army. That's what he told Barbara Walters. She was just over there. Don't laugh.
Barb's.
Don't laugh.
No, she's classic. That's why I was laughing. Barb's takes care of it.
No, see, the BBC and these guys aren't allowed even in the country. Nobody's allowed. Western media's not allowed in there. They just banned the smartphones because of something else that I was telling people about broadcasting with Ustream and the like. this digital revolution thing, the real one that I'm involved in. So anyways, so Assad told Wawa, he said, I'm not in control of the military. So I read right through that. That's true, you know, they're part of a clan, the government and the Baathists there. You know, it's like this it's like an extended family. See, like his economic minister and all these guys, they'll all be like his relatives, his cousins, or people married to those people. So that could be absolutely true that he's not in control of the military. But I took it to mean as the Russians are in control of that military immediately, because they got the base, they got the carrier parked right off of Crete there and all that stuff. They got the missile frigates and all that shit. And the supply ship with more rockets and all. You know, they got all that shit. So I took it to mean like, because this is one of the flashpoints for World War III as well. I took it to mean when he said, I'm not in control of my military, I said to myself, oh, that's because the Russians are in control of your military. Because they're not going to let you blow this one. Because they're the ones with the ship off the shore that's going to be fighting the Canadian carrier that's right there. Yeah. And the U.S. carrier that's right there.
Yeah. Right.
And doing the advanced, like, avionics, radar and shit. So I looked into that right there. I was just like, well, that's what that means right there. And everybody in the world's like, he's trying to say he's not calling the shots. So in the baby media, they're like, oh, he's trying to say that. And I was like, that's probably not what he's saying. In so many words. Just like at a certain point right now, you know, in that part of Pakistan and shit, some of these countries like Myanmar or whatever, it's like they're not really in control of their military. That's China.
Wow, imagine that. You can't be in control of your own military.
That's all an antiquated notion.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of these places. See what I'm saying? It's like a lot of places right now.
It is. I'll tell you what. Really quick, a nice.
But I'm not really giving away any secrets. I don't think. Maybe I am. I don't think so.
I think.
I don't think so. I don't think it's any big secret now. See, I was trying to explain to people, like, even when you see in the news where they're like say shit like, "No, we're not fighting." It's like in a barroom fight where both guys going, "I don't want to fight," but they're looking around at the tables for things to hit each other with, and the exits, and who's standing behind them and all of it. But they're going, "No, we don't want to fight. No, we don't want to." It's exactly like that.
Interesting. That's fucking brilliant. I love this conversation a lot. Hey, I have a quick interlude.
Don't you think it's funny when they just spun my hard drive like that? I just plugged in another one. I'm like, here, take this too, while you're at it. Yeah, that's me, right there.
Joe gave me this. It's a little special little CD. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's it's of course it's a When Jokers Attack, but if love is a drug,
yeah.
Then I want to do a Star Cleaner, and here it comes along with so that was nice of Joel. So lots of love to Joel. That was a nice little gift right there. So thanks.
So you want to know what's sick about all this stuff, this conversations? See, I know exactly what's going to happen.
What's cracking?
I know exactly what's going to happen.
What's going?
I know the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I won't say. I'll only bring other people up to speed.
Right.
But I won't tell them too much. A little bit. It's completely irresponsible.
Well, at least your thoughts were there.
Well, plus there's nothing anybody can do with the information.
Well, sometimes it takes time. It's like I have a brilliant poem. It's a nutshell poem. I can't recite it. I can't even recite my own poem, but it has to do with that. I just made it a week ago. It's about some seeds take longer to grow. It's something like that. I'll send it to you, man. It's no big whoop. But basically, it's in correlation with what we're talking about. It's brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we done with this conversation?
You know what? It's been a good one, Anton. It's
It
time for
certainly
some
has.
music and other folks to check in, and I appreciate our time together, brother.
Me too, man. I cherish it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. You have a beautiful one, dude. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Cheers.
All right.
Just visiting.
乌云金刚盖云